The Google Pixel 10 series is finally here, and it brings with it more features than ever before. Gone are the days of the Pixel offering something close to stock Android. These days, Android is heavily skinned and altered on Pixel phones, and that's a good thing. Because of all the awesome new features and options, there are tons of ways that you can customize and tweak your Pixel 10 phone to better serve your needs. That's why I've put together this guide on how to customize the Pixel 10 series. Note, I'm covering all phones in the Pixel 10 series, but I'll be sure to mention if any of them are specific to Pro phones. If this video is helpful to you, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps support my work, and I would appreciate that support. Now, first up are AI features. The Pixel 10 series comes with tons of AI features, adding on to what was already available on previous generation phones. For example, there are new AI call features designed to help you block spam calls and better manage your phone calls in general. One of my favorites is Call Screen. Head to Settings, Call Screen, and turn on the feature called Automatically Screen Calls. From there, you can select the level you want, with the most intense basically just blocking all unknown numbers. With this feature, an AI will answer the call, asking the caller why they're calling. You'll see a transcript of the call on the screen too, so you can answer it if you need to. Voice transcription has also gotten a lot better on Pixel phones. When you first use it by tapping on the microphone, you'll be asked if you want to download larger models. Then you can go to Settings, System, Keyboard, On-Screen Keyboard, Gboard, Voice Typing to turn on advanced features, which will make voice typing better. It'll then add things like punctuation and understand commands like inserting emoji. One of the headline new features of the Pixel 10 series is Magic Queue. This can automatically serve you information that you might need across different apps. It's enabled by default, so there's not much to customize, but if you find that it's not really helpful to you, you can disable it by heading to Settings, Magic Queue. You can also set specific features for Magic Queue here, and where you want it to have access to data. It may not work super consistently at first, but it should learn more about you over time. Of course, the home screen, lock screen, and launcher are some of the most obvious ways where you can customize your phone. There are plenty of ways to do so. Google's latest Material Design iteration is available on the Pixel 10, called Material Design Expressive 3. On the Pixel 10, there are Pixel-exclusive features, like Live Effects, which give wallpapers a more immersive feel. Long press on the home screen, then tap Wallpaper and Style, More Wallpapers, Live Effects. From here, you can choose a photo for your home screen and the effect you want to use for it. Shapes surround the main subject of the wallpaper, allowing you to customize colors. Weather creates fake weather effects in your photo depending on the weather in your location. And Cinematic applies a parallax effect that moves when you move your phone. They're all pretty cool. There are tons of ways to customize your lock screen too. If you head to Settings, Display and Touch, Lock Screen, you'll be able to choose the format of notifications, whether they're compact or a full list. You'll also be able to hide silent notifications and so on. One of my favorite lock screen features is Dynamic Clock, which automatically changes how big the clock is depending on how much content is on the screen. You can change the clock and enable Dynamic Clock by heading to Settings, Wallpaper and Style, Clock. It's also worth customizing your Always On display. You can enable the Always On display by heading to Settings, Display and Touch, Always On display. It'll show you things like the date and time with icons for notifications on a black screen. You can also have it show a dimmed version of your wallpaper, but keep in mind that that uses more battery. Another new feature for the Pixel 10 series in particular is full Qi 2 support, which lets you use things like charging stands. On a magnetic charging stand, your Pixel 10 will switch to a new screensaver mode. In the same display and touch menu from before, you can choose to change your screensaver, which lets you choose options for things like the clock, the colors you want, and even add photos. You can also choose where to show the screensaver and select for it to only turn on when you're charging wirelessly, which would make sense if you only want it when it's attached to a wireless charging stand. And there's a low light mode, which is a good idea for those who want to use their charging stand on their nightstand. The Pixel 10 series is known for its awesome widgets. To set up widgets on your device, hold down on the home screen, then select Widgets. From there, it's worth taking a look at the different widgets on offer. I really like the Gemini and Search widgets in particular. The Pixel 10 series comes with a range of new camera features too. Some of these can be customized or disabled depending on your preferences. For example, if you find that they lean a bit too heavily into AI. The first of these is the new ProRes Zoom feature, which basically uses generative AI to sharpen photos taken past 30x zoom. It's only available on the Pixel 10 Pro devices, so if you have the base Pixel 10, you won't be able to access it. The results of the feature are cool, but if you're anything like me, you may not like the fact that the images are basically generated using AI, and thus not actually what you took a photo of. To turn it off, head to the camera, then press on the gear icon in the top left. Then tap the 3-dot menu icon. Tap on Model Download and press the trash icon near ProRes Zoom. The phones also come with the new Camera Coach feature, which can give you tips on how to capture a better photo depending on what you're actually trying to take a photo of. You can turn it off too, simply by heading to the same camera settings as before and turning off the toggle next to Camera Coach. There, you can turn on some other features that you might find helpful. For example, a great feature is framing hints, which adds visual elements to the screen like a level to help keep your photos straight. Next up are privacy and security features. Your phone has all kinds of sensitive data on it, so it's worth enabling privacy and security features to help keep that data safe. For example, you can keep your phone safer with theft protection. The first theft protection tool is a lock, which will basically lock the screen if it detects that someone has grabbed your phone and run away, which is helpful if your phone was unlocked at the time. There's also the identity check feature, which uses things like fingerprints and face scans to check your identity when you're trying to access things like passkeys. And it's worth turning on remote lock, which allows you to lock your phone from another device if it's stolen by heading to android.com/lock. Of course, your phone will need to be connected to a cellular network for this to work. There are plenty of other features worth checking out on the Pixel to help make your experience of using it better. For example, did you know that your Pixel phone can automatically rotate the orientation of content depending on your face? That's right, it can use the orientation of your face to judge whether you're looking at it vertically or horizontally, and rotate content accordingly. To activate this, head to Settings, Display and Touch, Auto Rotate Screen, and choose Face Detection. Then it will only automatically rotate your screen if you actually want it to, based on how you're viewing content. It's also a good idea to change the display settings on the Pixel 10 series. To do so, head to Settings, Display and Touch, after which you can access the Adaptive Tone feature, which changes the tone of the screen based on the ambient light where you are. You can also enable and disable Night Light, which cuts blue light after a certain time, and change the saturation of colors on the screen to your preference. Last but not least, you can change color contrast if you're having a hard time seeing some of the options on the screen. The power button on the Pixel 10 by default activates Gemini when it's held down, but you can set it to turn your device off instead by heading to Settings, System, Gestures, press and hold power button. If you do so, you'll still be able to activate Gemini with voice, but not with a button, though I prefer to keep the button activation on. You could, of course, also set up a widget to activate Gemini, which might be useful. There are some other quick features to customize too. You can customize your quick settings tiles by scrolling through the options and tapping on the pencil, then dragging and dropping the options. You can turn on battery percentage for a more precise look at battery by heading to Settings, Battery percentage. And you can have your phone automatically silence calls when you flip it over by heading to Settings, Modes, Flip to Shh. And that's it. As you can tell, there are tons of ways to make your Pixel 10 device your own. It's worth spending some time looking at all the different settings and customizing them to your preferences, so that you can make sure that your device works exactly how you need it to. Thanks again for watching this video, and again, please hit the like button and subscribe if it was helpful to you. My name is Christian, and I'll see you next time. See ya.